And here we go. Good afternoon, lovely people. My name is Jarek. I'm the Archon Studio. I've got a new setup here, so you have to bear with me. I hope everything works. You can hear me loud and clear. I hope the music is not too loud. If so, please give me just leave some comments, and I will try to adjust on the spot. I've got new setup, by the way. So I think will be final one, but obviously we needed to set up everything from the scratch. Okay, sound is fine. Okay, everything is good. That's great. So we have some announcement today. Let me just go through some questions, obviously, which will be the next Archon, the Archon next big thing. Today announcement could not be about the next big thing. What is definitely about is about the board game and is about 4X type of game. That's one thing. What else? We have other licenses we are currently working on, but I'm not ready to announce them yet. We still in the process of getting everything, all the media package and everything approved. So there is something, in the pipeline. But I have some surprises for you today. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Let me just check a few things. I don't know, for some reason I can hear myself and I don't know why. Okay. I hope you don't have any echo or such. So let's jump in quickly because I've got only 1 hour today, literally 1 hour at 4 o'clock Polish time. I've got a meeting with the licensor, which is the other company licenses. So we might have even more for 2025. So I want to go through it quickly. We're going to start with AMA. So the next slides I'm going to be showing you some questions we got it from Discord and social media. So I will start as always. So we're going to start with Deuslair, so production update and minis. I have plenty of minis to show you. So not plenty, but enough. Then I have wave 7 for you. Some sneaky peek, some general information about the battleground. Then we're gonna move through caves. So pre-painted tech update. I have something to show you, and then more 3D concepts, and obviously the new licensed 4X game. And towards the end is this. Yeah, I know this is still actual logo, so I use that one. But stay tuned because right. Ask me anything. Let's start it. Obviously, I'm gonna go through your asking questions chat in a minute, but let me go through this one first, okay? Could we get a closer look at the Kraken's tentacles? Obviously, yes. So I have them. I have a Kraken. Oh, sorry, my phone is on the desk. Should it be here? So yeah. So I know what you're asking for. So basically you're asking on the internal section of the tentacles. So that's the section groups, obviously, and you have there's a organic detail inside, so that's not the problem. So these two are additional tentacles. You get them with that set, and yeah, instead of base you're gonna get something that looks like a base, but it's a water splash. Goes like that, and that's the big boy. Well, big boy. I think is it's so cool. I mean, just look inside the mouth. This is just crazy, though. I mean, come on. we actually making a crazy miniature. So I hope this answer your question. Can we get the stat cards rules for Robin? To use them in MOTU games? No, we cannot do that because the MOTU game is actually licensed product, and at the moment we have only we've been only releasing a product which are fully licensed, so we are unable to add anything to the game which is not licensed. It might be actually too difficult. Jakub showed the work in progress pictures of airship spurs. Yes. So about the standees, and as you might know, as you might recall from previous AMA, this is something I want to do, and we as a team will be working next year on it. So there's a airship game in order to actually develop that game, or in order to actually put on a table, we need to have some bases. So yes, you're going to get it. This is only WIP base, so I've made something very, very quickly for my team to work on it, but we have to stress test and see how it will work once we manufacture it. But yeah, you will gonna get some base, and obviously we need it, because if we want to develop more airships, we will need them anyway. So the idea is this one to be made out of clear plastic and such. So also in terms of airship, the team is currently working towards the tooling, and this is roughly the snapshot of elements you will find in the set. This is not fully detailed yet, obviously. This is just basically the roof sketch, seeing how many tools we're gonna have to put into production to actually have this massive miniature manufactured. It looks like we aim at 4 sprues, which one of them will be just double sprue. Okay. The next question: will there be a caves pledge with just new minis? Yes, I mean, kind of, because what we decided to do is to put a number of additional so-called add-ons, and you can just buy them separately. So we're not planning to give you any additional miniatures with the set. What we plan to do is to give you a option to buy them. So in this situation, I mean, this is the ideas we have currently. It might still change. I think we did I asked my team to do a couple changes just recently about the themes, and they were okay with that. So you will be able to buy additional miniatures. In this situation, we got the goblins and spiders, and then the concepts at the moment description says it's a spider rider, goblins, and a goblin king. So you will get 9 miniatures. I think there's a set of 2 sprues, and then 2 sprues for demon domain. So you got the skeletors and imps, and then probably 11 skeletors, imps, and the horned demon. Horned demon is something which you want to base on some miniature which and some character it's you know about it, but okay, let's wait for the concepts. And then we have for the evil eye and abomination, so some parasite miniatures, evil eye, few evil eyes, and then abomination, and all of that will be sitting as add-ons. So as I mentioned, you'll be able to buy them separately. So you don't need terrain. If you need more miniatures, we can actually provide you this one. Can you show off how the curve walls connect to the floor tiles? Sure. I will show you that. Let me just move the beast away, and this is the system. So it's exactly the same way as with this is only 3D prints, right? So we 3D print them just to see how everything assemble. It's the same principle as before. I mean, previously you connect the wall just for one of the sides. Now you can connect the curve wall to 2 sides. Now what's good about it, you are actually able to, obviously I don't have any pins here, but you will be able to create a very narrow, very narrow corridors like such, right? And also you can just connect them anywhere you want. So I call this kind of off-center because usually with DNL you needed to actually connect along the lines here, around the perimeter lines. Now this time around you can connect them any way you want and create really, really organic structures like such. Even actually you could make a circle, right? I hope this makes sense. So it's the same system. If you have other flows, you'll be able to use other flows with this system as well. Here is a little bit longer question about home. So an ETA update on English subtitles for the Battlefield playthrough video. Frankly, I didn't ask question to my team about that one. I don't know if we have this one in plans at the moment. We are really stretched out at the moment with the new games and new releases and a lot of things. So we want to do it, but I think it's gonna be round about next year, February, or around that time when we're gonna be ready to release a retail version. So just to make sure, just to be clear about that. We're not going to WeChat it, so you're gonna get the game before we go to the stores. We haven't even put a retail copies into manufacturing. We're just not gonna do that. So first of all, we're focusing on the backers, delivering product to the backers, and then once you have it, we will announce the street date for stores. So you'll be able to enjoy your game at least for 3-4 months before your colleagues will be able to get it. I think this is very bad practice to actually get the game before or in the same time as backers, because obviously shipping might be delayed, and then I don't know what's the point of running crowdfunding if you do that. What's the size of the player's aid? I might want to get the sleeves too. You're not going to be able to get sleeves. You can basically, I think you will be able to laminate it. However, just bear in mind we have changed material, so it's a quite robust material now. It's a thick carton, so you shouldn't have any problem with it. Can you share the final concept arts for painting references gathered in some dedicated places? That is a good question. But I will have a discussion with my team once we're back from Essen. So for the next couple of weeks, what we could do and how we could potentially create some, painting guide for the miniatures. And a battle board durability test. To be honest, it's not needed, basically, because we use manufacturer who knows what he's doing, and all the materials you will find on the board games are exactly the same as the top-notch board games quality you will find at any other game. So we haven't cut any corners. In fact, we've been increasing and constantly increasing the quality of materials, cutting the way the elements are cut and such. So you're definitely not gonna be disappointed, and it's not like we were trying to find some savings. We didn't. We actually got it other way around. We spent more than we anticipated at the beginning, above the budget. So don't worry about it. In the earlier AMA, there was a glimpse of the unit balance sheet. Yes, there was, and I think this is a very good idea for the blog post. And I think if my team is listening, so Jakub and Jacek and rest of the team, it would be great if they going to, well, definitely will make the blog post about it. And then I've got a question about the Home 3 regarding the future expansion storage. We don't know yet. It's difficult to say whether we're going to be doing like a massive storage for the previous for the next expansions. Maybe, just maybe, if we plan to release later like a bundle of 3 expansions in one. We don't know. I mean, at the moment, it would be much easier. I'm not saying we're going to do it. It would be much easier if we plan Kickstarter for the next 3 expansions and then make them in one go, because then we can definitely design one simple storage solution like another big box for your expansions. But we don't have this one in plans at the moment, and we just want to gradually release expansion after expansion for the next 3 years. Which means we're probably not going to be able to do it. Maybe once we release like 3 expansions, then we can create a bundle with those expansions. So we will have to wait for those, but I cannot promise. One promise, yeah. Deuslair. Okay, let me just, before I move to Deuslair, because we are still in the section of Ask Me Anything, let's go through the questions. Wow, plenty. So is it possible to show directly live the Fairy Rus and Azure and Callisto Dragons? I will have this one for you in the next summer. At the moment, I don't have it on me because I've got boxes. Actually, the boxes are gone now. They went to Essen. So if you at Essen, come and visit our stand, and you'll be able to see it, touch it, and even play it. Yeah, me too. It's a dead license. I think it is. Oh, is it? Thundercats, yes, we think about the Thundercats some time ago. Thundercats, actually, there was a game or license from Diffuse, if I am correct. Okay, give me a sec because my pop-up chat is not. Do you have some minis made for the Kings of War? It is nice. Yes, we manufacture for Mantic. Actually, last 2 releases, which they're very excited about. I mean, Mantic is very excited about. They coming from our house, from House of Archon. So we basically make them, manufacture them. We have to bear in mind, we don't design miniatures for them. So we only get files from them, and what we get, we put into miniatures. I've seen some of those things, yeah. By the company. Thank Marcus. I don't know if we ever gonna be able to buy any other companies. I mean, see, that's something which we could elaborate quite a lot about our industry. Our industry is, it's not like video game industry. In the video game industry, you can see people going and buying businesses one after another one, or just, you know, taking studio and second studio. The thing about the studio is that it's quite normal for the video game studio, because you through the studio, you're going to get a massive number, well, experience, right? So that's the thing. Especially that is, you know, you need quite a lot of experience in terms of video games and coding and everything else. Here with our business, I don't know. Many companies use external contractors anyway, so you could potentially license the same contractors to do the same kind of similar work and such. So our businesses are very different. So I don't see any. In fact, I've been in this business for about what now 10 years, and I haven't seen, maybe I've seen once or twice when some business was actually brought. It was one which was Hawk Wargames. Funny thing is, we started with the Hawk Wargames at the same time, company, and they went belly up at some point. And I think the business was brought by the TT Combat from UK. That was one takeover which I remember, but any other one, I don't recall. It's just simply like, okay, if the company dies, the company dies, and nobody else cares. So maybe it's too small. Camera is cutting my face. It is. Yeah, I think I made small cuckoo. I was adjusting the camera today, and I did. I did it. My fault. Hey, Marcin. So, any idea when the gallery of the Deuslair minis will be complete? We have still about 10 or 15 minutes to be finished. Once that is done, we will update it. Oh Jesus, so many questions. Okay. Same here. There was a question actually on a GameFound which I spotted the other day. And that question was regarding why we're actually using GameFound instead of Kickstarter, why we're jumping back and forth. Its simple fact is that a GameFound is very good. Or both platforms have their pros and cons, and a GameFound is extremely good in terms of providing you tool for quite easy management of add-ons. And as you know, our stuff is massive in terms of add-ons, so that's the thing. It helps out with selecting and choosing, which Kickstarter implemented, but it's still quite clunky, and it's not GameFound. Additionally, what is very important about the GameFound, they introduced something like payment. They call it stretch pay. This means you don't have to pay everything on one go. You can divide it into several payments. So, and our terrain, although it's cheap, but if you want to have massive table of it, you're probably going to spend about $300-400. Not everybody can just choke through it away straight away, $400. And yeah, that's going to be additional option for you. And I see this as a huge benefit. Something which I don't think Kickstarter will ever introduce. Master of Magic is the new license. Almost. Yeah, it will fit in the box if when laminated. If you're talking about a player 8, definitely. It's a small player 8 is a small what's small is about A4 size roughly. So no worries about that. Hello, we were wondering if you'll be able to flat connector items so that makes stand-alone terrain like end connectors. Only the thing I don't have the prints with me, all of them, but we do have like end corners. And this time around, what we want to do, we want to break from this squareness of tiles and add some additional corners, which allows you to visually break, you know, the Minecrafty look of it. Okay. I don't think we're gonna do any big box for MOTU Battleground. Wasn't in the plan, and we probably won't be doing it. And I don't think this is necessary. Although you're asking, so maybe it is. But I don't think so. Question MOTU: what other vehicles are planned? There is a few planned vehicles, and then I cannot tell you which one. But yes, we want to. Every second wave will have some vehicles, or maybe on the third wave. I need to check on the plan. No, the next one release is a new faction. I've got pictures, so I'll show you in a second. Oh my goodness, you're asking so many questions today. That's good. We need a shortcut for sure. I don't have shaded miniatures. That's the thing I'm waiting for. I had samples. We had samples. It's my mistake. I should have them for you ready. Sorry for that. We had some samples somewhere, but the team already gone with those miniatures and they took them with to Essen, I believe. So I don't have them on me. No, that wasn't tested, but that's something for my team to look into it. Thank you for the question. Not today. Although I've seen it few pictures on Facebook, and it was quite encouraging to actually move back into sci-fi as well, because you can see people still kind of enjoying and playing now. There's a more small skirmish games, sci-fi games, which they utilizing the the train, so that's great. It's our basement for 30 players. That's large big basement. But we're not going to France for trade shows, but our distributor actually is doing the is presented over there. Jesus Christ. If it's not very odd. Why did you just go for the yeah, I will tell you in a second. Thank you for your answering the reason I asked when we went to hard. Okay, that's a good point. Okay. Oh yeah, the page is only draft. We kind of rushed with this page draft because of the GameFound wanted to do some feast, so they were sending out emails and they say, question, if you want to go on a GameFound, it would be great if you actually open up the page and we will just link it up and to that newsletter, and we did so. But the page will be revamped and redone and with many updates. There's lots of to show you and pre-painted stuff which we're currently working on as well. Okay, let's move on. As I mentioned, I need to finish literally before 4 o'clock, because at 4 o'clock I've got the licensor's call, which a very important call. Something more we are just managed to arrange, so it'll be great to have it. So Deuslair, obviously we have more miniatures. I'm gonna just flick through to show you what exactly team managed to do in the last couple of weeks. Obviously the colors indicate the number of parts or separate parts for each of the miniature. So we have cut many miniatures, and then the tooling is actually ongoing at the moment. We're still on time. We still on time to deliver at least 2 months before. That's the idea. So we'll see how this one goes. And toward the end of the year, only one thing I'm concerned about is that we are planning to reallocate our factory from the place we are currently into new building, which means we don't know how long it's going to take. I'm counting at least 5 months, 5 weeks, 5 days. What I'm talking about, 5 days, but it might be a couple of more days or a couple of more weeks to move the factory. So we have 20 machines, 400 pallets of stock and such to actually relocate. So it's not easy. So it might affect a little bit of Deuslair, but we still have at least 3 months for 4 months at least as a backup. So it should be fine. So there's more minis and more minis and more minis. This is one of the loads minis, so Hydra, and then we have finally the big boy cut. It was challenging because we needed to do quite a lot of redesigning of this miniature for plastic injection. So finally the team managed to actually do that and cut the model in a number of pieces which is okay to assemble. Otherwise you will get it like 150 pieces. Nobody wants models 150 pieces. There's more miniatures which we managed to sculpt and more miniatures which we managed to do. These miniatures have not yet been cut. And then we have more miniatures and more miniatures and more miniatures. That's Hydra. And that's playable faction if I record this correctly. And then more minis. So in the next few weeks, you will be seeing post SN when I do next AMA, I should have many of those minis ready to show you. So quickly camera roll. Yeah. Let me just move those things out of the way. Already show you Kraken. That's a large big boy, and then it's got additional tentacles. So in terms of a spruce, one, that's the second. And that's the third one. Look at that detail here. It's kind of crazy though. So it'll be quite challenging to paint. Maybe not challenging, but yeah, you have quite a lot of detail to actually paint. Then we have that big boy. Oh, this is coming from actually this sprue. So we have our version of Displacement Beast and then our version of Demigorgon. Right, and there's a small mistake we made, which we're going to be fixing it. I think we have to fix it because that model is slightly under scale, unless we're gonna call it like dwarf or something. But I believe this model is under scale and will have to be redone on one of the tools. So don't worry, we will fix it. It happens. We are not perfect. And yeah. So that would be all in terms of miniatures for today. Maybe not. Let's move back to the slides. The battleground. Let's start with some arts for the battleground. So that should give you a clear indication what the next faction is. So we've made this is fully approved. So what I'm showing you is basically the final stuff. For the cards, for the arts, for the cards and such. And then if you add Essenspiel, I was showing this before, but Shira with Swift Wind is going to be available at the Essenspiel It's a promo model, but you will be able actually to get this model as well through our website. So what we did in the past, and what we will continue to do, is whenever we go to the trade shows and you cannot attend it, you are not able to attend it, we will also make those special things available through our website. And then yeah, I think it's a fair, and especially during the COVID, it was a great idea because not many people wanted even to go for the trade shows. But we will continue to do that. So during the small window, you will have this opportunity to get it. And some sneaky peek of, I just love it. Some sneaky peek of the models. We have all the models scoped. I'm not gonna be showing you all the models. I want to keep the models for a little bit later, right? For a little bit later. So when we close it, and what we're looking at is Wave 7. It's coming the first quarter of 2024. We have plans, huge release plans for quarter first of 2024, and in that slot you will find also the Wave 7. So yeah, I hope you're excited. Battleground is the Battleground. To be honest, I'm very happy about this game. The way it's been kind of going and constantly, going up and getting more players into it and such, and we can just continue to, keep doing releases, and we have like 4 waves of releases one release every quarter for this game, and we will continue to do so till I don't know, till we finish with the license, and then we definitely will try to extend the license for another 3 years, which then means we're going to have this license for 9 years, which is absolutely crazy. But yeah, and I think also, there's a new Netflix, which also going to be available, so that is the other stuff. Yeah, it is quite popular. It is quite popular in Germany. I think the German market is the biggest for that game at the moment. However, the Spanish market is catching up as well. Yeah, only thing is about, which is strange for me, is UK market. I mean, UK market I would expect to be, equally large as the Spanish market, but with the UK, there's other problems. One of the main problems with the UK market is that we cannot basically sell to individual stores yet because of Brexit. So we have to push stock through distributors, which limit our presence in stores in general. But this will change. This will change. I mentioned this. We want to have a branch set up in the UK. We're working towards this. I'm looking for people, by the way. So if you're from the industry, if you're based in the UK and want to be part of the Archon and became CEO of UK operation or managing director of UK operation or run sales or whatsoever, give us a shout, because that's what we need at the moment. We need more people, especially for the UK. Okay. Quickly, I will go through the caves. Many caves are actually getting done. Something we completely forgot at the beginning of the caves was actually creating the holes for the for additional elements, for plugins, add-ons. So something the team is actually catching up now on. And then something I wanted to show you is example of different type of tiles, which I think could be a good idea, because they're not crossable, so you can't cross them, so miniature cannot go on them. It's a kind of hazard tile. I know Camila came up with some also proposal to make additional trap tiles, so something which we're definitely going to be adding into this one. Maybe not trap tile, however, like a trap set, so traps set, which means you have a small tile on it. If the miniature goes on it, you flick it over and there's whether trap or there is no trap, or something like that, which allows the game masters to introduce this one for our set, because I think it was missing. For the caves, we have front back. Again, this is something which team we needed to kind of refix it, this one, because the team think it wasn't clear enough that there is a disconnection between the organic and the stone wasn't kind of working. So I think the team is sitting on that one to make it even more organic and less stonish. And that is for the Belly of the Beast set. And then we have the demonic set. Yeah, so demonic set is stone, is steel, skulls, and that's about it, and chains. So that's how we envisage the demonic sets. I like it. I love it. So we obviously have some elements already sculpted, so you can see them here. So every single time we have some small details, skulls, maybe some writings, some candles, but they are not point of focus or focus points. So what we try to do, it's you see, there's a small balance between adding something which is focal point and something, and then you have to build the history around it, or something which is basically because it's meant to be there, or yeah. So this is what team is trying to do now, just to balance this one. Yeah, like that one. I mean, you have a head, that's fine, but that was full body, like we have on one of the element, is basically focal point and requires full story around it. So yeah, and then we have a flows, and then more caves. This is the set for a super stretch goal. So as I mentioned, more of the super stretch goal will be spider cave oriented, so fully spider walls, floors and such, so quite a lot. I think it's gonna be large. I think it's, in terms of what we're planning to do, I'm a little bit scared because we had just had a meeting a couple days ago about it, and Jakub, project manager, told me there's a huge number of elements to be sculpted because we want to make so much stuff with those for the caves. I think they deserve, the cave Kickstarter deserve to have, or GameFound campaign deserve to have a huge number of elements to pick from. Yeah, but I hope we're not going to too much. We're not going to go too much, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's still going to be great. Okay. We are here at the moment when I need to mention something to you about us and about cooperation. This is the first license I'm going to be announcing. We're going to start with a smaller one. Maybe not smaller one, because this is the license I really wanted to have, and it was something I was fishing for a couple of years, but I couldn't get through. I couldn't get to the people, and the reason behind this one, why I want it, is, see, it's not always about getting the license you think is gonna be huge and massive or whatever. I mean, you know, Heroes for us was a huge success, and for me personally was a huge surprise. I wasn't expecting that. I don't think anyone in the company here, neither my team, was expecting the success of Heroes 3. Although sometimes you have to go for something you really love, and this license is just me going back to 1999. And with that in mind, I was fishing for that one for couple of years, and finally I managed to actually get connected through. I just knocked the proper doors this year, and I managed to get through, and we signed a deal a few months ago, and for the last few months we have been working in the silent on this board game. Okay, so and I will explain everything to you in a sec. So, in general, it's a Master of Orion. The subtitle for the game is Ad Astra. Master of Orion is the license from the Wargaming. You might know this game because a little bit of background history about the Master of Orion. So, many years ago, there was a Master of Orion first part, released by Microprose. That was the game which I played just a little bit. I didn't enjoy that game that much, but I did. Well, not really, because it's very similar to second, but it was back then. I was too young for that. But once the Master of Orion 2 was released, I was completely hooked, and Master of Orion 2 was the game which I had on my PC 3 video games back in 1999. It was StarCraft, it was Master of Orion, and it was Civilization, right? So there were 3 games which I really played, and obviously Heroes, that was 4, but the Heroes was going back and forth whenever my cousin was coming over to my place. But back in 1999, I was there's a situation when during school holidays, I was sent out to my grandmother and grandfather. So we spent almost 2 months in the house, obviously away from my PC. And with my cousin, I was designing board games. I was literally just like copying the video games I was playing and designing board games, and we were really enjoying. So working with this license is just like me going back to 1999 again. So yeah, this is something I'm excited, really excited about it. And yeah, obviously just going through the history of the game. Then we have Master of Orion 3, which was released later on. This game was I was sitting countless hours on this game. I remember very well 2002, 2003. In our cellar, we were just playing video games, and then we were just connecting several computers, 4 of us or 5 of us, just playing different games. One of them was actually this. I did enjoy Master of Orion 3, although it wasn't like Master of Orion 2. Master of Orion 2 was the completely different concept of the game. You could spend 6 hours, 7 hours to play the game, and then you could finish it, and which we couldn't get it with Master of Orion 3. It was a little bit longer game, so it was focusing on a single player game and a full like a full-fledged campaign. And then we have this latest release from Wargaming. If you don't know what happened, it basically Wargaming will manage to buy full licenses, so they managed to buy entire IP, and they work towards that one, to make this game. So you might say, why are we gonna for the license which already have some stuff? Yes, there are 2 board games. There are 2 board games for Master of Orion. I think both of them, in my personal opinion, didn't grasp the idea for Master of Orion. They not the board games I was expecting in terms of 4X. So that's one of the reasons, even bigger reason, because I think we could do much better with this license and for this license and for this game. So that's the other reason why. And I'll show you why. I'll show you why in a sec. So that's the box. The cover was just finished a couple days ago, sorry. We had it approved, and that's how it looks. And on the bottom you have a web page, so if you want to sign up for the newsletter, it's Master of Orion at astra.com. You can go there, sign up for the newsletter. If you do so, we will definitely bombard you with development blog, playtest info, and surveys, because as with Heroes, we want to just make sure that we're going to create a very good game, and that's the main priority. So on that, also, if you go to our blog on Archon Studio, you will be able to read few sneaky peeks and some information about the game and some information about why we're actually gonna go when we're going for this license and what our plans are. What I'm able to show you today is only a alpha test. So so going back what I just said about why we think we can do a much better game. First of all, what we plan to do is make a proper 4X game with this license. So large table, some good times you have to spend playing it. However, with this slightly twist. And I will be doing a separate development blogs in the next few updates, or in the next few AMAs, when we're gonna go through and explain to you why and what's the design idea behind this game is and what we're trying to achieve. So there's two things which I didn't like at the beginning, the Master of Orion, the previous games of Master of Orion board games. One of them was too small. One of them was card game, and second one wasn't even kind of exploration game you would expect from Master of Orion. So that's one thing which we want to change. Obviously, everything you see here is just basically alpha test, so we don't use even final components. We use components from other board games, we use components from our own board games, and everything is like a print and play. But on that picture, you can see kind of the scale of the game. That was the game for 3 people, so it's a full table and such. Now, the other problem I found in other 4X game is the complete lack of fleet management, and this is what I really want to change. I want to make sure that is incorporated into this game. This means you play with large fleets. This means you have option to build large fleets. You have an option to get it destroyed. Once the combat happened, destroyed, you can rebuild it, and so on. We played other 4X games just to test it out, to see how they play against this concept, this idea, and The other games, when you have just one single ship and you move that ship around the map, I don't feel like I'm under control of massive fleet or I'm building an empire, right? So here we want to give you this feeling of actually you are the master of Orient, but you have your own civilization, you have your own race, you have your own fleet and such and such and such, and you have a combat in different in a different sections of the universe at the same time. So it's not like snowballing game. So we move away from other 4X, which most of the 4Xs is basically snowball, which means you build everything in one go and then one or two ships goes around and that's it, the combat is over. I don't want that. I want actually many combats and loads happening in the game itself. So that's kind of what we wanted to achieve, and I think it's going to be completely a new take on 4Xs. And I'm not saying we're trying to redesign the 4Xs. I'm trying to say that we're trying to improve the 4Xs. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was the bonus one. That's something which my team don't know about it. But I will just leave this one here. Okay. I'm not going to say anything. We're going to move on to questions. I still got 10 minutes to spend for you, so we can go through some questions. Oh, by the way, don't ask me about that, what is on the screen now. That is something which is... if you ask me, I will ask me. Okay, I will try to answer. Okay. So, it's very tenderous. Would buy extra boards with terrain setup printed on them so we don't have to squid. Yeah, it is, because it's kind of Wargame, and it's something between the Wargame and a skirmish game, so you have to spend some time on a setting up. The terrain, unfortunately, is a big part of that game, so it needs to be done. Belgium, not in Belgium at the moment. We grow in United Kingdom. We want to grow. Eventually yes, but at the moment we want to grow there. We want to grow in Spain. I think we're looking for somebody for Spanish market just to become our employee. I have one person which I already talked about it with that, so we will see how this one goes. Definitely UK, definitely United States. I have some discussion at SN about the United States, so we'll see how this one goes. But we wanna. I've got one graph which Marcin, our sales team, sent me over about the sales, how the sales growing. I was going to incorporate it into this, but I decided not to, so because I will leave it for the next AMA, so I'll show you the reasons. Yeah, but the sales actually growing, and we are at the moment when we getting more salespeople here internally within the company here, but we need also the external salesmen for the individual country. Yeah. Okay, so a battery box for the sorting MOTU boards and foam inserts. Yeah, but it's a skirmish game, so I think it's scalable to the size of, getting something. You could get the carry cases from some companies that should allow you to help with that one, and I think those carry cases are large enough to actually carry other components. Because that's the idea. The skirmish game, usually it's a plastic, you have to paint them over, and then once you have that one, you still have to store it into proper storage solution for the miniatures. This means something soft, right? So if you have a painted miniatures and start getting them into a plastic sleeve, it will, rub around it. So this means you will just rub the paint off. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. It was the Mantic, actually, it's trying to reuse many things around there. So Mantic is trying to reuse from tanks from us, walkers from us. So that's Wolverine tank there, here. Yeah, Mantic approached us. They said, "Hey guys, what are you doing with this tank?" We said nothing. They said, "Okay, great, let me have it. Can I just incorporate it into my game?" And we decided to go for that. I think they also used some from Battlefront vehicles from Jesus, Gates of Antres. Yeah. We just started. We only starting. We will do better. Oh, really? I don't know. Maybe yes. So, Home 3 considered for Game X. Not to the scale. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. It is something similar, but it's not. It's not per se. It's not per se. No, not yet. I will be. I haven't shown the dice yet. That one. Exactly. Explore, expand, exploit, exterminate. I was expecting, yeah, I mean, me too. I was, I mean, the logo for us was a nightmare to set up. The logo was crazy because we couldn't figure it out which one, and we had like 200 different designers. And then finally I said, okay, look, we have to trust what people are going to do for us, and then let's go for the proper designer. Let's the designer tell us what exactly we want and design the logo, and that's it. We hired a very professional, experienced designer. He came up with this idea, and we said, I was scratching my head and said, look, don't scratch your head, go for it, try it, you will see it work. And it's actually working. So yeah. Battle board game with lots of minis, definitely, and some measuring stick. All the rule. Yeah, so about what you see on the screen, yeah. Okay, if you have more questions, please keep them coming. The thing about the chat is, for some reason, it's not refreshing because I'm using the pop-up window, and I think it's not refreshing, so I have to refresh constantly. So I've got a few minutes more. I've got about 5 minutes for you still. I will have to finish because, as I mentioned, I have very big meeting at 4 o'clock, which I really don't want to be late on because it's too important. It is about other license for about other project, and that license will be for 2025. Regarding licensing and other stuff, we have two more announcements. We will do it gradually. We will do gradually all those announcements whenever we're ready. So we have to prepare all the paperwork and such. Well, when I say paperwork, I mean by have everything approved, landing page approved, graphics approved, and to be, looking nice and ready to go. Okay. Okay. Yes, I think Jakub was discussing with them a few things. We haven't made any decisions yet about it. I think there's an app planned, and we are trying to find a budget for it. That's the thing, because those things are not cheap. Those things are very expensive. Yeah, so if we're going to do it, we will do it, but we don't see any... from the business point of view, we don't see any straight profit from it, because we won't be able to see any straight profit from it. However, it might be part of... we need to find a way of introducing into that app maybe somehow something like, some marketing tools, basically, to use some marketing tools with that. Otherwise, it won't break even, Right, have a good one, and hope to see you at the SN. Yes, Q4. At the moment, is written for Q4, but it will happen. Yes, it will happen. Okay, I will be wrapping up because I still need to use gens before I have meeting. Before my meeting happens. Don't take this wrong, but your new logo reminds me of the Nintendo Switch logo in some way. Yeah, I mean, somebody proposed animations to animate this logo. This is a very good idea about animation, and I said to my team, let's do it. And because of my team did not have this skill to do that, now they have, because they just learned it a couple of weeks ago how to animate stuff. I will now be pushing on making sure I have this logo animated, and here in the left corner here, that logo will be animating in a constant circle, so you'll be able to see the whole concept and idea behind this logo. I won't have to, you know, individually explain the reason for changing. Yeah. Okay, the both will come. The both will come in, yeah. I keep saying this, but for us, it's very important to have our own licenses as a company and our own IP. And the main reason for that one is a license are coming and going. So if you're running your business and if you don't have your own stuff and you're only counting 100% on the licenses, you really don't have a business. Right? You don't have assets. Your asset is basically here and now. Tomorrow you lose that, you have nothing. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. I wish you a nice weekend. I hope to see you at Essen. If you're going to be there, just say hello, please. We have a massive stand, but we don't have many people there, so I'm probably gonna be running like you, headless chicken. Bear with me if I don't have a straight away time for you just to have a, you know, chit chat, but I'm definitely will try to do my best. I might have to cover here and there some sales as well to help guys with the sales and such. But yeah, if you're there, say hello to us, to our team, try our games. Yeah, that's it. Okay, thank you, and have a good one.